from Group Translation will explain the history of translation. The first speaker, Maria Fatima, will explain it.
Here with me, Maria Fatima Saja, I will tell you about the history of translation. The history of translation has been a topic that has long been debated by scholars and historians, though it is widely accepted that translation predates the Bible. The Bible tells of different languages as well as giving insight to the interaction of speakers from different areas. The need for translation has been apparent since the earliest days of human interaction, whether it be for emotional, trade, or survival purpose. That demand for translation service has continued to develop and is now more vital than ever, with business acknowledging the inability to expand internationally or success in penetrating foreign markets without translating marketing material and business documents. That's all. Okay, the next speaker, time is yours.
Okay, I'm Rina. I will continue the material about the history of translation, which means to speak across, and from this the term metaphrases was born, which means a word-of-word translation. This term have been at the heart of theories relating to translation throughout history and given insight into when and where translation have been used throughout the age. It is known that translation was carried out as early as the Mesopotamian era, when the Sumerian poem Gilgamesh was translated into Asian languages. This dates back to around the 2nd millennium BC. Other ancient translated works include those carried out by Buddhist monks who translated Indian documents into Chinese. In later periods, ancient Greek texts were also translated by Roman poets and were adapted to create developed literary works for entertainment. It is known that translation services were utilized in Roman. Okay, I'm Rina. I will continue the material about the history of translation, which means to speak across, and from this the term metaphrase was born, which means a word-of-word translation. This term have been at the heart of theories relating to translation throughout history and given insight into when and where translation have been used throughout the age. It is known that translation was carried out as early as the Mesopotamian era, when the Sumerian poem Gilgamesh was translated into Asian languages. This dates back to around the 2nd millennium BC. Other ancient translated works include those carried out by Buddhist monks who translated Indian documents into Chinese. In later periods, ancient Greek texts were also translated by Roman poets and were adapted to create developed literary works for entertainment. It is known that translation services were utilized in Roman by Cicero and Horace, and that day's use were continued through the 17th century, where newer practices were developed. Okay, that's all.
Okay, I am Hoshi. I will continue the material. Okay, I am Hoshi. I will continue the history of translation. It is argued that the knowledge and findings of the Greek academics was developed and understood so widely thanks to the translation work of Arabic scholars. When the Greeks were converted, their works were taken in by Arabic scholars who translated them and created their own version of the synthetic entertainment and philosophic understanding. The Arabic version were later translated into Latin during the Middle Ages, mastered throughout Spain, and the resulting work provided in the foundations of the Renaissance academics. The next, religious translation and the text. The need for translation became greater with the development of religious texts and spiritual theories. As religion development, the desire to spread the word and the Old Testament, which was translated into Greek in the 3rd century BC. This translation refers to the Septuagint, which was translation of the Hebrew Bible in the Greek, with Septuagint coming from the Latin word Septuagint, which means 70. This text is therefore often referred to the Greek Old Testament. Okay, the next speaker. That's all.
I am Vira. I will continue the material about the history of translation. Without the use of modern practice and tools, this translation was carried out by no less than 70 scholars who painstakingly corrected the text in Greek, and this became the basis for future translation of the Bible in multiple languages. Religion played such a critical role in translation development that the church even named Saint Jerome as the patron saint of translation. Saint Jerome created a Latin Bible in 4th century AD. This Bible became the predominant text used by the Roman Catholic Church. The next, with the introduction of Protestantism, the need to translate Bible and other religious texts in European language heightened. Through the rapid translation and distribution of the Bible during the Protestant Reformation, Christianity has two clear paths: Roman Catholicism or Protestantism. One of the most clear differences between these two forms of the religion was the disparity in the text and the difference between critical words and passages of the Bible. That's all.
I am Wilhelmina Nule. I will continue the material about the history of translation. Famous translators throughout time. Translators have often been hidden characters, unnamed people who have paved the way for some of the greatest contributions to the dissemination of ideas, knowledge, and the theories throughout the age. In some cases, working as a translator was incredibly dangerous, and some even lost their lives because of their work. This translator includes Chinese monk Xuanzang, who in 45 AD was credited with having translated 70-40 volumes on Indian Buddhist scripts into Chinese. Constant Garnett was a British translator who translated Russian classics, including Tolstoy, Chekhov, and Turgenev, Gogol into English towards the end of the 19th century. Dejo Rabasa was an American literary translator who translated numerous Latin documents.
Hi, I'm Delfiana Matibao and I'm the last speaker.
modern translation practice and understanding. Following on from the industrial revolution, the economy developed rapidly and evolved into a machine with the potential for global success. New machines allowed for swifter production of text and business-related materials, and this means that more time could be invested in evolving a company and translating material to enter foreign markets. The internet has revolutionized the ability to escape, translate, and understand text and document from all over the world, whether they be contemporary or historical pieces. Critically, the need to understand the culture of the original country and that of the target audience is further enhanced by modern tools and practice. Although some instant translation services are capable only of multiple translation or literal word-for-word translation, special firms and platforms. That's all. And thank you.
Okay, this is our video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share. Thank you. Bye bye.